Learn how to generate coordinate arrays and plot a perfectly straight linear mathematical equation. In this example, we want to look at how we can plot linear equations using the Plotly.js library. And, with Plotly, like in the previous lesson, we've plotted complex curve like sine and cosine wave. Now, we want to look at the absolute foundation of algebraic graphing, which is the linear equation. So let's move on. I have pulled in the Plotly library through via CDN, as well as added an empty div that has an idea of my plot style inside my HTML section. So as it is now, let's move directly into my script tag and add a couple of script code that will generate this linear equation for us. So let's make a variable x plus 17. Don't worry if you don't understand what we are doing now, you understand later. And let's just go ahead and generate value. Then make y values as well. Set it to an empty array. Now that we have this, then use the for loop to loop. Let x equals to 0, then our x less than x equals to 10, x plus equals what? 1. So is there anywhere no? Let me just wipe this and restart again. So we have 10, and this should be plus equals 1. So let me set x value here and use it to push whatever is returned from x into our array, as well as y value dot push to set it to evaluate our expression. Now here, I think we're done. So now let's go ahead and define our data. This is an object. So we are going to define our data inside this variable. So x will take the value of x value, y will take the value of y values, and then we set our mode to lines. Having done this, let's go ahead and define layout. Const layout equals title. And now let's go ahead and display the data itself. Call on the Plotly library.new plots and then pass in our variable by plots. Pass in our data and layout. Now look at this. This is a linear equations with Plotly.js. See how you can see when they say something is linear, straight line. You can see all those values and everything is shown on a straight line. So this example plots the linear equation, and the equation that is plotted is this: y equals to x plus 17. It starts at x equals to 0 and calculates the matching y value for every whole number up to 10. So it collects these coordinates into two arrays, x and y, and uses plotly line mode to draw a perfectly straight line, upward sloping line that starts at 0 and ends at 17. That is, if you look at this, and if you look at what is 8, yes, it goes beyond and end at 10 and 27. So this is going to be 10, and then outside is 27. So what we have here is an expression. It's called the linear equation string in algebra. This is a slope-intercept equation where the slope is 1, the invisible number in front of x, and the y-intercept is 17, where the line crosses the vertical axis when x is 0. And we loop. In this part, the loop starts at 0 and increments by 1 on each step, generating 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 10, because straight line has no curve. So stepping by 1 is highly efficient and visually flawless. And lastly, we have the eval part. The evaluation function evaluates our string expression against the current value of x. So for example, when x equals 0.1 equals to 0.17, that's 17. When x is 1, y is equal to 1.17, that's 18, so on and so forth. And our modes, which is set to line here, instructs plotly to draw a continuous solid line connecting our calculated coordinates. So here are key takeaways from this lesson. Number 1, linear equations will always display as a perfectly straight line. Number 2, unlike curves, which require tiny fraction steps to look smooth and round, a straight line can be plotted with very few points. In fact, a computer only needs a minimum of 2 points to draw a straight line. And lastly, the graph starts at 17 on the vertical axis because our equation has 17 to x. If we change the equation to x plus 5, the line will shift downward to start at 5.